I hated my life so much. I was planning to take my life, and then he just starts having a freak out on me. You're dumping your life issues on me right now. I came to escape mine one last time. You have no idea what I'm about to do right now.
So then, can you take us to your encounter? You meet Jesus, Waffle House.
Yeah, absolutely. When I was in the 8th grade, I started getting very bad depression and anxiety. Never went to the doctor. I would have these blow-ups, and this is nothing on my parents, but it was just like, it was a hidden battle. So when it would get brought up, it was kind of like out of nowhere. They were just kind of like, oh no, that's not happening, like you're good. But every 6 months, I would have some crazy blow-up in front of my parents, like crying and upset, and it was just kind of disregarded, pushed away.
Right.
No one knew. And then I had deep anxiety, and this was going on for years, and just stuff going on at home, stuff going on in life. I was a people pleaser. I would be someone different to you than I would be to Ari. And I would do it because I thought, man, if I get both you guys to like me individually, then man, it would make me feel good. But I was just like a hypocrite, scapegoat, like just nothing. And then when I was a junior in high school, I was planning to take my life. And it wasn't because I didn't want to live anymore. It was just because it was the only way I thought to get the pain to go away.
Same.
Because the idea that society brings you is anxiety and depression, you'll never get rid of it. So you got to take pills for the rest of your life. You got to do this, you got to do that. It's going to be who you are. And again, the doctor didn't know about this. I wasn't on any medication. I have Snapchat memories from my old Snapchat account every night. I was just depressed. Like, gosh, I hate my life. I hate my situation. This, and that. And so I was planning on taking my life. And I wasn't planning on doing it on this particular day. But it was December 25th, 2020, Christmas. Had an interesting Christmas. Didn't really go like a happy holiday season, I guess you could call it. And so I was like, all right, tonight's the night. And so I had everything set up. I had things to leave behind for family, for friends, letters. And I was going to do it with this like knife. It's called a hawksbill knife because it was just my grandfather giving it to me. It was in my room. It was easily accessible. No one would know about it. It wouldn't be like identifiable. And so I was like, I'm going to go get one last meal before I do this. So I told my parents I was just going to get a meal. Waffle House, only thing open on Christmas. If Waffle House is closed, the world's ending. Like the end of the world is here. Like it's seriously. But I also love Waffle House. Like I love it. It's one of my favorite places to eat. So I go and it's packed because it's Christmas. And it was packed and I just said, hey man, just random guy, grown man. I was like, hey dude, if we're a party of 2, we'll get to sit down quicker.
Yeah.
I'll pay for your meal if you want to sit with me. He goes, okay. So, we get to sit down. We're sitting at this table. And when I go to Waffle House, I have to sit in this spot. The one in my hometown where I got saved, I have to sit in this spot because it just means so much to me. So we sit down and we order, and then he just starts having a freak out on me. Like, my wife's divorcing me. She's taking my kids away from me. Blah, 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 this, and that. Like, this is our last Christmas together. And I'm sitting there thinking, you're dumping your life issues on me right now. I came to escape mine one last time. You have no idea what I'm about to do right now.
Yeah.
When I leave here, you have no idea what's about to happen. And you're more worried about, this is how I feel inside, you're more worried about projecting your issues on me. And he's just going, and I'm eating, just not really responding. He's just talking. And then he just randomly, he's like, man, I love my wife, but she just doesn't feel the same about me. And then he said, there's no growth in a relationship if the love isn't mutual. That's what he said. I'll never forget that. And when he said it, it was just like, I don't know how to explain it. It was like time stopped. Something struck my heart. And all of the head knowledge I had ever gained about Jesus in school, the vacation Bible schools, all this stuff was just making sense. The 18 inches between my head and my heart finally connected. All this stuff is making sense. All of time has stopped. And I went, man, maybe it's not that God doesn't love me, but maybe he's just loved me this entire time and pursued me. And the reason I don't know he's there is because I haven't given myself a chance to love him back.
Yeah.
I will never be able to love God like he loves me. I'll never amount to it. But if I can remotely attempt to love him back, then maybe that will do something in me. Maybe he'll become more real to me. Maybe he's not some, distant God that's trying to force me how to live my life. But maybe he does actually love me and care about me. And when I look back on it now, I hated my life so much. It took, Jesus loved me enough to intervene from stopping me from taking my life.
Yeah.
And so I just went into my car and I was like, all right, God, if you're really real, take away my anxiety and depression. Because if you're real and you are who you say you are, you can do this stuff. Because the only reason I'm taking my life is to get rid of it. And instead of taking my life, I gave my life to someone who wanted it that night. And since that day, I haven't had anxiety or depression. Satan will try to creep anxiety up on me, will try to creep sadness up on me. But that's just not who I am anymore. So I have to shut it down. But I gave my life to Jesus that night. And ever since that night, I've been very adamant about sharing my faith. I've been sharing my faith since that night.
Wow.
I would just run up to people and say, hey, Jesus loves you. And then I would run away before they could respond because I was afraid I didn't know how to answer their questions.
Yeah.
So,
oh, man.
yeah, that night radically changed my life. And I went on the internet and I said, guys, I'm going to disappear for 2 weeks. It was Christmas break from school. I said, I'm going to learn about this Jesus guy. I had this radical encounter last night. And I said, when I come back, I'm going to tell you guys everything I know. And then when I went back to school, I started making videos and just teaching the Bible on TikTok and what I was learning.
Wow.
And that's where it all started.
So after that, you then make it your life's mission to preach and to proclaim the gospel. And what was that like? Where were you living? When did you move to LA? What was it like making videos? Like, what was that whole journey like for you?
So when I was in high school, the second semester of my junior year, people thought I was doing it for likes and views because everyone at my school was a Christian with their mouth. So everyone was like, oh, man, he's just talking about God. It was because it was reaching a lot of people.
Right.
Then summer goes, I come back senior year, everyone hates me. Everyone hates me because it wasn't just a quick thing. You could tell if it's quick for someone. They'll leave it really fast because Christianity is hard.
Right.
Living for Jesus is hard. You guys said it. So when you do it and it's fake, you just don't hang around. But people hated me. I was getting bullied at school. I was getting threats. I was getting social media threats. People were sending me my address, threatening to show up to my house, threatening to beat me up, threatening to kill me. Then I would go around my hometown. I would go to the ice cream shop in my hometown, and people would drive by and threaten to beat me up.
Wow.
I was just getting ice cream. I wasn't even talking to anyone about Jesus. I'm just trying to get some dessert. People were threatening me and so many things. But just stay the course. And the Bible says that the one who endures till the end will be saved. So I'm like, man, I'm going to keep pressing on. And then I graduated high school. I lived in Florida for 4 months in Destin. I backslid hard because work became my God. I was working 7 days a week, 12-hour shifts.
Wow.
Money and work became an idol in my life. I had no room for Jesus, so I was backsliding in my faith.
What did that backsliding look like?
It just looked like living in old sin habits. It looked like not feeling close to Jesus. And that was just my fault.
Yeah.
I just wasn't putting in any effort. So, no wonder I didn't feel close to him.
Totally.
But I was still, I was still preaching, telling people about Jesus, but my life just, didn't look anything like it was before I moved there. And then after there, I came home and I just repented. I was like, all right, God, that was awful. I don't want to do that. I just want to do this full time. I had a good job, good money in Florida. I was about to get a good promotion. I was about to start my own business. Sounded like it was going to be great. I was going to make loads of money. It was awesome. That's what the world tells you. Make loads of money. But I was literally falling back into depression, so sad. And I was putting myself in that place.
Yeah.
And so I came home and I was like, I can't do that to myself. I was like, all right, God, I want to get close to you. What should I do? Where should I go? Move to LA. Move to the darkest city in America. I'm like, dude, what? That doesn't make sense. And everyone in my hometown hates LA.
Yeah.
So I knew it wasn't from my flesh. I knew I wasn't selfishly trying to move to LA. And so I prayed about it. I got the cheapest rent of my life when I first moved out here. And I got a cheap plane ticket out here. And I had a one-way plane ticket with 2 suitcases and a backpack. And came out here. And that's when I just kind of started immersing myself into everything. I would do the Bible study on Wednesday nights. We were doing a Bible study at our friend Chelsea's house.
Yeah, so Bryce and I met. I started going to that Bible study probably literally 3 months before we started Girls Gone Bible. And I remember when you started just popping up everywhere on social media, I was like, I know that kid. I met him at this random Bible study, which is just so, so crazy. I mean, just where we've come to now. And now we're sitting on both having platforms. It's just so insane. God is so cool. It's just so cute. So yeah, you start going to Bible studies.
So we were doing the Bible studies. I was going to worship nights. Every time there was a worship night, I was going to Huntington Beach on Mondays, on Thursdays. I was doing all this stuff. And then at nighttime, I would go hit the street. And I would pray for homeless people. And I was just doing this every day. And just trying to immerse myself in everything. And then when 2023 came, I started traveling with a mentor. and was learning under him. Greatest decision of my life. He's just such a father to me. His name is Marcus. He's amazing. And then as I was traveling with him, God gave me a dream about staying here in America. So many missionaries leave the country.
Wow.
I think that's amazing. I'm like, man, if God is calling you to go to Africa, to go to New Zealand, to go to the Middle East, we need that. But I think a lot of people's idea of like serving Jesus is, oh, I'm going to go out of the country and do a mission trip, which I think that stuff's great. I'm not dogging that. And a lot of people think I dog that. No, I don't. But to me, America's just as sick. And a lot of people think that if they want a mission field, that they have to leave the country. But their college campus, their neighborhood, the gym that they go to every day, their workplace, it's the mission field.
100%.
Like the harvest is ripe. So many people are far from Jesus. So many people are ready. And we need it in America, and America's in shambles. And so God gave me this dream. And he was like, you need to stay in your own backyard.
Wow.
But God was like, you'll reach the nations. And so I'm like, all right, like that, like I don't understand, global impact, but staying in America, that doesn't make sense. So that's when we started videoing the interactions. It wasn't anything new. It was just, we turn on a camera now. I was already doing it, so it wasn't awkward.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be awkward for people, but it wasn't because we were already doing it. And then, so I had some people filming for me on the side, and then that's when I called Josh, and we were talking, and I was like, hey, what are you passionate about? He's like, I want to capture things on video for God. I said, that's crazy, because I'm trying to put things on video for God. And so he prayed.
Awesome.
He moved out here in January, and every week we were just filming, hitting the street, and going and talking to these people. And God was introducing us to some of the coolest people we've ever met.
Wow.
And we were going to talk to people and pray for people. And that's when things started to make sense. We started reaching so many people, particularly in America, but we're also reaching the nations from America, from our own backyard. We were reaching people in South Africa.
Yeah.
We were reaching people in New Zealand, people in the UK. So it was like, okay, wow, God really is calling us here. And so we've just been filming those interactions and going to these places, and God has really given us a grace to become friends with people that are just totally against Christianity, but they'll be friends with us. It's such a powerful thing. And I think that's exactly what Jesus would do. I think Jesus would be friends with all these people because the healthy don't need a doctor. That's what he says in Scripture. So it's been really cool.